My name is Jean-Jacques. I'm the new kid, no, sorry, the new chef in the block. And today I'm going to take you on a wonderful trip. We're going to cook a nice coq au vin, and maybe if you have time, a little tarte tatin. We see you in a few minutes. Can we get along? But now you're wondering what we have here. It's our famous tarte tatin. It's cooking slowly, and I will show you how to make a tarte tatin. And I think Wilson is ahead of me. He's already peeling the apples. Yeah. So we have a beautiful, golden, delicious apple. You find them all year round. It's the one we're going to use for the tarte tatin. Why? Because they're very extra juicy. And what the process to do a tarte tatin, you use butter and sugar, and you have to confit your apple. And the juice of the apple with the butter and sugar will confit your apple. And last week I got in an argument with my wife about the word confit. She said, you can use the word confit for pastry. And we look at the book and say, no. When I was a pastry chef, confit is like a confiture. You confit, you preserve the fruit. When you confit something, it stays forever. You have to seal it, nice. Now I want to show you how to make the tarte tatin. Use a beautiful pan. I just bought it this morning. I want to use sweet butter. Why not salted butter? Why? Because you can do anything you want. I live in England. I was a chef in England. And in England, it's so humid, they use salted butter. Why? Because the butter will get mold after 2 or 3 days. And when you make a tarte tatin with the salted butter, you can't get rid of the salt. The salt will always be there. So we use unsalted butter. So my wife taught me that beautiful word last week. She said, you have to say unsalted butter. You can't say sweet butter. Okay. Let's not get upset, darling. I'll take you out for dinner tonight.
What is that again?
Unsalted butter. You know?
Sorry.
My wife teaches me.
This is how you work in the kitchen. You see all this.
We push each other.
All this movement around.
It's a small kitchen, French restaurant, you know. Low cost on electric, you know. You can use your hand, you know. You can go like that, you know. I'm going to do it here, but you go up like that. The tarte tatin was made by these 2 sisters. And the story is very simple. She make a regular tart. I think she get a little bit kind of that buzz, you know.
The calvados, maybe?
Yeah,
she's making calvados in the background.
And what happened, see, you go like that with your butter, and one thing you can do, hop. See, you can use for play basketball. The butter never move. No, tennis, basketball is like that. You know? And granulated sugar. Don't use confection sugar. Don't use brown sugar, because the idea is that it's going to confit. You want that color brown around. And you just put same level, you see, of sugar. And I used to make that tart in Paris. And who teach me that tart is a chef in Geneva. I was a chef in Geneva, and the chef go to me. He showed me how to make that tart one day. He said, you know what? It's the only way you're going to make a tarte tatin. It's the only way you're going to have that tarte tatin taste good, and that's going to stick here in your teeth, you know, because there's only one tarte tatin. And I always say it. The apple tarte tatin. Why don't we listen together?
You got it.
The apple tarte tatin. It's no pineapple, it's no pear, it's no cherry. That's all commercial, you know. It's a nouvelle cuisine. We're the old-fashioned guys here. You know, we look young, but when you come
what we start up with, put the bottom side down, the side that you took the peel off.
Yeah.
Put it down, and then you turn it the opposite way.
And one key, never wash the apple.
Yep.
Like I say.
Too much water is going to come out.
Yeah, too much water. That's what will be the problem. What I said, the tarte tatin comes with these 2 sisters. She made that beautiful tart, and she brings to the customer. She has a beautiful restaurant near Paris. Levron, Boron, little town. And she come in a table. And she's arguing with her sister, and she get to the dining room, and the tarte tatin just flip. The tartin just flip on the floor, you know, just boom. And the customer order that tarte tatin in the beginning of the dinner, or what they have to do, we have to do something, you know. Or one of the sisters pick up a spatula, take all the apple, put it back in the pan, put it back in the oven, and she turn them upside down. And that becomes the tarte tatin from the sister tatin. You compact your apple. Very important to compact your apple. Very, very important. Because if you let them loose when you cook, they're going to fall apart. When that's cooking, we have the tarte tatin still cooking. You see the sugar? How the sugar's cooking? You can feel the sugar and the butter getting together. And what we're going to do, set up the dough for the tarte tatin. Here we have a puff pastry. Puff pastry is made with butter, flour. People use milk. When I was a pastry chef, you know. My first love was baking. And I worked with I will say one of the best, Fauchon and Gaston Lenôtre. My first job as a baker was to make all the dough, the brioche, the croissant, and the puff pastry. Puff pastry is very delicate to do. You can buy it frozen in this country, or you can make it. We have a mixer here to make it. So you take a plate like that, you see? And you look at the plate, you look at your size of your pan, and you go, put on top. It's what you're going to use to have your size of your puff pastry. Very important. A tarte tatin is one tart you can make in advance.
You can make it for Christmas, maybe?
For next Christmas too, you can make a tarte tatin.
For the family.
It's what we use the confit term. Confit is preserve. You can make, last night Elvis made like 15 tarte tatin last night. You put your plate on top, and you just go with a nice knife, little knife. Don't you try to use a big knife. You know? What you do, okay? That you save it for the next one, because the puff pastry, you always can use it 2 or 3 times. See, that's my layer, see? So what we're waiting now for, I will say, get that brown color around that tarte tatin. When you get that brown color like a light wood, you know, light wood, you're going to have your puff pastry add on it. What I did, I got that puff pastry all ready to be covering my tarte tatin. Room temperature, always. Use room temperature. It's like a pizza, you know? And I can go. No. You ready? No. Do that on the stove. Very important. Do that on the stove, you know? Don't do it on the wood table, because you will burn your butcher block. And what you do, put your finger and just go like that, you know? Take your time, no rush. It's all about the beauty of the tart when it's done, you know? You just put them deep inside. If you don't want to burn your finger, what you do, use a little knife. Why I do that? Very simple. You want the puff pastry go inside. Why? Because when I'm going to flip my tart, when the puff pastry is going to cook, it's going to grow. It's going to rise, you know what I'm saying? And it will lock up all your apple on the side. It will make a beautiful design. We go like that. We just put some oil, give it some air. This way, the puff pastry doesn't go up. It go up and it come down. And what we do is that, like I say, we're going to have an oven at 355. You cook that for 30 minutes. And I will show you in a few minutes. The 1 hour is almost ready. The first one I make today is almost ready. Let this one cook, okay? And what we do, we have our tartin ready. Now, like I said, the tarte tatin is a upside down tarte tatin. We flip the tarte tatin in a plate. And if you do it now with this one, what's going to happen, all the apple going to stick in the pan. You want the butter and the sugar overnight get back together like a jelly, you know? I have one I did last night. Wilson did it with me, because I can't do anything alone here now. I need my Wilson. Huh, Wilson?
Yeah?
What I do, I put back the pan right on the fire, live fire. You can see, if you see my hand, see that one? Until, if the tart doesn't move, don't flip. She's not ready. You want the tart to do a circle. Go like that. See that circle? I mean that circle going, you see? That's very important. Why? Because the butter and the sugar melt with the heat. And you know, the heat, more that is hot, better it is. Okay, now I love it. See, you flip them around. And we got the magic touch here, you know, go. Ah, Wilson. French kiss, okay. And that's your tarte tatin. See? That's our tarte tatin.